Hello and welcome everyone, XD8-63 here, also known as Geminiman. It's been a while since I have dropped any video or any sort of update about the application I'm working on. For many months, since September 2025 when SHM Mod died, I have considered and I have spent a lot of time writing and improving an application, a health application, and I called it Geminiman Wellness Companion. I have even started pre-registration back then, which ended on December 2025. So the question is, how far did I go with the companion? So this will be an overview on how far Geminiman Wellness Companion has reached. Initially, the feature will include ECG as a start. So when you start the application, you'll have a notification pop up. You allow this, it will actually notify you whenever you take a new measurement of ECG. You'll get a pop-up notification of the results on your phone and as well on your watch. Right. Now, when you start, you'll read some of the things. It is not intended for diagnosis. It is actually used to help you get some insights only. You proceed, you'll read some disclaimer, okay, to understand everything about it. And once you're done, you click on the understand and agree and you click on proceed. Next, there is a privacy policy which explains to you that no data is collected, everything is on your phone, ages information is used to improve the accuracy, and all of these information that you need to be aware of. So by default, you cannot actually click on the checkbox unless you have to go through all of these. It's important for you to read, okay? And there is a possibility if you click on the translate, it will take you to Google Translate and translate this into English, this English into your device language. Once you're done, you click on that and click proceed. Now you create your profile. This will be your main profile. Suppose I'll just write my name, Dante. For last name, I'll just put H. For example, gender is male, date of birth. So I set the date of birth, let it be as it is. There we go. So I click on continue. And there I have it. I'm done. So what are the current things you can see? As now, there's only ECG. Okay. So there is an AI model, which explains what are the types that are in here. So initially, as you can see, there is a legacy model, and this has been used and tested a lot. Recently, I dropped a new update which consists of 3 version 2 models, okay, and with the auto. So your phone will check its specs and decide what is the best model to use. Okay, so high-end devices will most likely use the max accuracy or balanced. Low-end devices or old devices will most likely between balanced and battery saver. You might not even see the max accuracy because max accuracy requires a lot of resources such as RAM and it's the CPU. Okay. So with that being said, so most likely when I release the application, right now the application is being tested by the beta tester users and really helping me a lot. Shout out to all the beta testers for helping me with this application. So the legacy most likely is gonna retire because version 1 has served its purpose and allowed me from the reports of all of the beta users to come up with even a better model. Right. So enable developer, this is something that would actually help me mainly. So these buttons will be removed from the beta version. It will be only available for the beta users. Okay, it's basically to see how the application functions and it will help me to develop. For example, if I enable the dummy UI and I go back, I can see how the UI would look like and accordingly I would work on this. So with that being said, what is manage your profile? So manage your profile, obviously you can update your profile, but What about manage other profile? Now this thing is, I really like about this because right now, if you measure ECG, okay, the report will be under your name. But suppose that you have a family member, for example, your wife, your father, your mother, or any kind of relative, or maybe even a friend. You can actually create a profile for them and select from the relationship that's a family member, dear friend, or other, and so on. And then when you measure an ECG for them, you can actually put that ECG under their name. So now, instead of having all the ECGs under one profile, you can actually select who is having that. Other than that, you have the support and everything as it is, and explaining all the permissions used in the application. When you report a bug, instead of writing a review, you can go to the report a bug on a GitHub, and it'll take you to my application GitHub page where you can open an issue or maybe open a feedback and so on. Languages currently, it's not fully utilized, so I'll need to clear it because I'm using one of my apps as a template. So the translation is not correct, and most likely this will be either community translated, or I would actually pay for a proper translation because a health application needs a proper translation. With that being said, now let's go into the ECG, how it works. So how to use and record an ECG, you'll find that it's in details on how to get everything done. Since this is still under development, you're required to have dev mode enabled under the health platform in order to use the ECG. Once that is done, you can go through all these steps and you understand how it works. Understanding your results, you can see different types of the rhythm and noise and all of that, confidence score, explanation, what is bradycardia, normal range, tachycardia, and all of that. Then you have the XAI concept. It explains everything, what are the colors, and all of these things right over here. And finally, references, basically where and what I have used to train my AI model and get such results. With that being said, so now let's start measuring. So on my watch, I'll scroll all the way down. Geminiman Wellness Companion. Access the sensors. Okay, so I'll give or grant to have the notification as usual. So get that and give the access to sensors. Now, similarly, you can see on my watch, so settings. So I can see, for example, if I want to check for updates, languages, and of course you have the same thing, just like on the phone, enable developer mode, which allows you to debug, see different things, which helps me when users send me reports, or basically me as a developer if I want to see the logs. So let's close the developer mode. Now, let's try to measure an ECG. Hold on, let me just put on the watch on my wrist, like so. And there we have it. So now I click on the measure. Okay. So now you have the wrist position, which you can set it left, and the buttons direction are right. So whether you wear the watch upside down or you wear the watch on your right with the same position, you can set these things up before you start a measurement. And this actually allows you so that, for example, if another member wants to measure an ECG, you don't have to tell them how to wear the watch. They can wear it however they want and they can do the measurement. So let's leave things as it is, as a default. I click on proceed. So HR sensor warming up. Now I can start. So I place my finger. Okay, maybe I'm not. Give me a second. Maybe because my hands are bended a bit. Let me try to hold it again. Keep still. Don't talk. There we go. That is done. So I get a notification that the ECG has been analyzed. It is a sinus rhythm. Go back to the application. You can see it's sinus rhythm. Now, when I open the app, so what can I see in here is that this is an overview, the entire 30 seconds measurement, the usability and the noise in the ECG. Now, you will always find the noise around 20%. And I did this on purpose. I did not want to flatten the noise and give you something artificial. This is a single LED ECG, so you are expected to find noise in the ECG. Okay, some of the users said, why not give an option to, for example, remove the noise? And I said, I will consider that in the future release. I could add something that tells the users about removing the noise. Right. So in here it says ECG of Dante, age. For example, if I had another user, suppose a friend, let me go to settings. So I need to show you everything in this application right now. So let me create a quick dummy. Let's say Jack. Smith, for example. And friend, dear friend, let's just make, I have a dear friend called Jack. Okay, let's just do it like that. Let's leave it as today's the birthday. Yeah, okay, happy birthday, Jack. So save that. So now I have added someone. Now if I go to the ECG, I can now assign it to Jack. So now the ECG of Jack. That's the first thing. Next thing is that you have a note. You can add notes for whatever you want, 500 characters. You can write everything you want about this ECG. What else? You can expand the menu. You can export this ECG as raw data for technician, ECG technician. They can look at the Excel file and see the data. You can run the XAI analysis again. This is probably something in the future if you have different models of AI. If I introduce any different models, you can run the XAI and it will just run and give the results. Since nothing is different and it's the same AI model, it will have the same results. Now, when you click on the ECG, it will ask you, what kind of report do you want to generate? Reduct means that it's going to hide some of your information. Let's say you have a full name, so it's going to reduct it. Simple chart, or XAI highlight. Okay, XAI highlight, if you click on this, it will explain to you what it means. Markers, let's just click on everything. I can have the report as a portrait or have the report as a landscape. So let's have a look at the portrait for now. So this is the highlight in which it says green color. Well, let's just click on this here. So green means strong support for the final result. The AI has high confidence that this supports that the result is sinus rhythm. Yellow is partial, red is a weak support. So this is how the confidence is measured. This gives you some sort of a way to understand how the AI is working and on what basis it decided it is a sinus rhythm. So you can see in here, at the start it had a partial support and suddenly it had a strong support all the way till the end. With that being said, when I export this as a PDF, I can open this. Let's say I'll open it in Adobe. And there is my PDF, okay? As portrait with all the details that I want. Redacted, so my date of birth is not written. Gender is there. My name, it's only the initials. So this redacts your information with a disclaimer and everything at the bottom. So if I want to see the normal chart, let's say I want it simple, no markers, no nothing, I'll keep it as it is. And I click on the preview. This is it. Now I want to produce the PDF. And this is my PDF. And this is not reducted, so my information up here, Dante age, male, and the date of birth with the year. Okay, with no XAI interpretation. If I want the other view, landscape, click on preview, then you go for the PDF, and you'll have your PDF right over here showing everything that you need. One moment. There we go. No, my bad. There we go. So that's basically it. So now, as you can see, that this is for the phone. Okay, now what about the watch? So of course I have in here a history in which I can scan all or rescan all, and I can clear all the ECG if I want. So what else is in there? Going back to the watch quickly. So on the watch, let me change the watch face and go right over here. You would notice on the watch face, customize, and now I can add a complication, and I can select to have it as the ECG. I think I clicked on the wrong place. I want to click here. There we go. Nice, scroll down. So I have an ECG complication either as an icon or as icon with text. There we go. So if I would go for the icon, there we go. I click on that and I'll have to measure my ECG. What else do I have? I can add widgets and tiles for the application. So I have only the measure. Okay. I have last measurement and measure new. There we go. Or I have a history and measure now, such as this. Okay, since I have only one measurement, I can tap to measure another one and it will keep showing you the last two measurements with the date. So it is still being tested, but I'm making this video because I want everyone to be aware that I did not really stop working or not really consider about anything. So I really hope that by the time I release this application, you guys will have an idea about what this app is so far, or how far this app has reached. And you can literally see that right over here. Shout out to all the members of the Telegram who have been testing non-stop and reporting even bugs. I can even show you that right over here in the bugs. If I can spot it, there it is, the bugs. You can see that they are reporting. As I have showed you the tile, you can see that the tile in here is being chopped off, and so many other things. They have been helping me to ensure that I can deliver to you all a very high quality application so that you guys would be able to use the application at ease. And that's basically it. And as I mentioned to you, that you can see the results of the ECG on your phone whenever you measure an ECG. So that's pretty much everything. And it is getting closer to a release. I hope this video was very insightful and it kind of makes you all excited for the release. And I'm looking forward to seeing you all being happy with the application quality and its performance. Have a good day and wishing you lots of health. Take care. Cheers.